There is no one who does not know Apple, the symbol of the USA on computers. So how was this company founded? Has it always been a successful company? Or was capital the secret to his success? Let's examine it together. Like every big company today, Apple was founded in 1976 in a garage. When it was first established, it was known as the Macintosh. The name came from a variety of apple. Later, Steve Jobs changed the name to Apple. Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs were known for their interest in technology. Their interests landed them a part-time job at Hewlett-Packard in 1972. During this period, they began to work on homemade computers. Steve Wozniak's interest and super talent in computers combined with Steve Jobs' interest in computers and his super marketing skills. In the statements he made in the following years, they attributed the establishment of Apple to being a good duo that complements each other. In 1976, they recruited Ron Wayne, the third but not so well-known founder of Apple, and founded Apple in a garage in Steve Jobs' home. Their first computer was the Apple I with the MOS 6502 processor. They came up with this computer mostly with the capital provided by Steve Wozniak. Continuing to work in the garage, the team produced and sold 200 Apple I computers. After selling the Apple I, they started working on the Apple II and produced a much more successful computer in 1977. Aiming to take this success to the next level and become a rival to IBM, the team developed the Apple III in 1980. Unfortunately, they could not continue the rise they had with the Apple I and Apple II with the Apple III. Computers damaged by overheating due to an unexpected design flaw have been recalled. It is clear that the recall of computers was an obstacle to Apple's even faster rise, but Apple, which went public on December 12, 1980, had a record capital. However, Steve Jobs, who suddenly found himself at the head of a huge company, made his first wrong decision. Jobs felt there was a need for a commercially qualified executive, and in 1983 John Sculley took over as Apple's head. Due to various problems with John Sculley and the board, Steve Jobs resigned from Apple in 1985. With Steve Jobs leaving the company, Apple experienced many failures. As a result of these failures, Steve Jobs was brought back to Apple in late 1996. Steve Jobs, who started a restructuring within the company when he came to Apple, first enabled the opening of the Apple Store. In 1998, the modern-looking iMac, an all-in-one computer, was developed and released. The iMac achieved great success, selling 1 million units in a year. The company that developed the iBook in 1999 continued its success. Carrying the aesthetics of computers to the operating system, Apple strengthened its position in the market with Mac OS X 10.0 in 2001. In addition, Apple entered the music player market with the iPod in the last quarter of 2001. The iPod came with the iTunes software. Coming with iTunes software, iPod quickly became the most popular music player on the market. Steve Jobs, who took over the management of the company, developed software and devices that prioritize visuality. In addition to these, the Apple company, which also makes internet investments, has achieved to become a world giant by entering its most successful period by getting the return of all its investments.